Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and as always, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So, yeah, we're revisiting the Tamiya TD2, and this is my runner. I've done 3 or 4 videos, I think, on this car already. This is my, as I say, go-to 2-wheel drive runner. It's only run once, which is ridiculous. I've been really lazy recently, and a little bit too busy doing other stuff. But anyway, my videos are not in real time, so I'm shooting this in the middle of February. No idea what the actual month will be when this video goes out. But winter, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and winter's sort of, well, summer is in sight. That's more important. So yeah, as I say, I want to put the rest of the upgrades on this now while we're in winter. Because there's quite a lot to put on it, and I don't, when it's time to run this, I don't want to have to do all this at the same time. I just want to put the new electrics in it, and off we go. So yeah, in this video we're going to put the rest of them on. So I said upgrades and hop-ups. This is more a bling thing. So this is a TD4 aluminium steering set. So you've got your 2 arms and then your steering bridge. I don't know if that's an upgrade as such. I think that's more bling. I fitted those on my TD4, super smooth, but the standard steering's super smooth anyway. But anyway, that's going on. And then also the TD4 aluminium rear suspension mount. That's definitely an upgrade because it's got a plastic one in the kit. So that's definitely an upgrade. Now, here's the big one. The standard kit comes with the ball diff, which is great. It's already got the upgraded slipper clutch fitted to it, but I always had a plan to, I did run it once with the ball diff and it ran great, but I wanted to change the ball diff out for a gear diff. So we have the T806 steel GIF, oh my god, let's start that one again. T806 steel gear differential unit, rear for some reason, so I don't know if the T806 front diff is different, but anyway, yeah, this is a straight swap for your TD2. So I'll say all metal gears, metal out drives, and interestingly, this is an oil diff. Now, I'm quite intrigued about this because my good friend Martin's fitted it to his, and he said that the oil just pees out of it, and he ended up putting grease in. And I'm sure I've heard somewhere else that it leaks. So if it does, no worries. A gear diff, oil or grease doesn't really matter to me. So we'll when we do it, we build it, we'll put oil in it, but we'll have a look at it. If it's going to leak, I'll take the oil back out. We'll put some heavier grease in it. So that's going to be cool because that's going to make the slipper clutch earn its money. And we've also got, these are the TD4 22 metal bevel gears. Now obviously we get 2 pairs because this is for the TD4 4-wheel drive, but obviously this is a TD2 2-wheel drive, so we'll only be using 1 pair. But yeah, open a gearbox up, take those plastic bevel gears out, fit them with metal. That should make the gearbox absolutely bulletproof because we're going to be putting quite a lot of power through this thing. And as I said earlier, we're going to make the slipper clutch earn its money instead of ball diff slipping and stuff like that, and all the adjustment will be on the slipper clutch. So that's really cool. And we're also fitting the TD4 TD2 carbon rear shock tower. I ended up getting one of these myself, and Keith over on RC Icon sent me another one, which is awesome. So thank you, Keith. I've heard that the kit one is not the strongest, and I know a few people who've snapped it. So anyway, we're going to change it to the carbon tower. Now, interestingly, if you know the TD chassis, the wing mounts bolt straight into the back of the chassis. And they've got rid of that with the carbon shock tower, and you get normal, what I would call normal wing mounts that bolt onto the carbon shock tower. So that's definitely an upgrade, and as I say, we've got 2 of them. So depending how long this video takes, I'll hopefully get the second set onto my TD4, but we'll see how this video goes. And then once I've got all that done, this is how it looks on the shelf. I don't run it with these wheels and tyres on. Also, while I'm into this, I'm going to be taking the electrics out. This has got the Tamiya super modified 11-turn brush motor in it, and Tekken brush speeder. I'm going to be taking that out because my good friend Duncan, hope you're watching, Duncan, at this moment in time is sending me some new electrics, a couple of brushless combos. think there's a 9 turn and a 10.5 coming, which is awesome. I have got a 13.5 here, but I wanted this with a little bit more oomph, so don't know which one will fit, but it'll have a 10.5 in it, which is awesome. It'll just give it the kick it's needed. So I'm gonna, while I'm in here, I'm gonna take those the old electrics out now. As I said, Duncan's electrics are not here at the moment, so it'll just become a roller for now. Oops. And then finally, hopefully at the end of this video, just because it is going to be sat on the shelf for at least another 2 months from now, I want to fit the Avanti driver cockpit back in it because it looks superb. And I've also got some Tamiya Racing tyre decals. As I say, I don't use these wheels, this wheel and tyre set is just for the shelf. So I want to put those on because I just think they'll look kind of cool. They'll go on the fronts perfectly, but these rears have raised up lettering, so to get them on I'm probably gonna have to get a knife and just take a little bit of that off, so I'm not 100% sure I'll get them on, but fingers crossed. And also we'll try get the shot tower on the TD4 and see them both together, which would be kind of cool. Anyway, that's what this video is about, so if you're interested, don't click off, carry on watching, stick in the comments what you think, and let's get into this. Right then, very quickly, I'll just show you the part numbers should you want to know them, because I'm too lazy to put them in the video description. So TD4 aluminium steering, you get those 2 pieces with bearings, that's the part number. You also need the bridge for that, which looks like that, again got bearings with it, and that's the part number. So that's those. Rear suspension mount, and fully adjustable as well for different toe in and out angles. That's the part number for that. Then the TR6 diff, which all metal parts apart from the main gear, and again that's the part number for that should you be interested. Bevel gears, or metal bevel gears. Obviously it's TD4, so you get 2 sets. This is for a TD2 where we're only going to be using a pair. That's the part number. And then last but certainly not least is the carbon shock tower, again with wing mounts and all hardware, and that's the part number of that. Right, that's that bit done. So yeah, let's get wheels and tyres, body set off, and start figuring out where we start. So again, just in case you didn't see the build process of this is what it looks like now. I've done the TD4, or I've sort of done a bodge conversion to fit a 2S shorty battery across, which works perfectly. We've got this tray that comes out, shorty battery goes across it, it's awesome. As you can see, it's got the full aluminium upgrade turnbuckles, pivots, TRF, not TRF shocks, they're the TTO2B DFO3 upgrade shocks. They look really nice, especially the white springs. It's got sway bar front and back. I don't know if you can see in there, but that's the 11 turn super modified, Tekken speedo, low profile Savox steering servo. What else is there's a slipper clutch on the other side. I kind of think that's it for upgrades. Yeah, just wanted to show you all that before we start, but yeah, I mean, again, it's only ran once, but it ran really well. So I'm quite excited about making these new changes, and then obviously summer will be here and we can run it properly. And just remembered, I'm just starting to strip this down, I'm also putting alloy 12mm hex adapters on there. Obviously the kit comes with plastic and they're fine, but I had these laying around, which I just think they're better, and they're 5mm, which I believe are the same as the kit. Yeah, they look the same. So that's a very good upgrade to get on it. Right, that's the old electrics out. This is a good servo, but it's very old, Savox digital, low profile. But by the time I fit the new radio gear in, which is going to be the Noble system, and as I said, a brushless combo, I am going to buy myself a decent, modern, low profile servo. So that's out, and I've also got the 5mm wheel adapters on. The rears are obviously an upgrade. I'm not so sure about the fronts, if I'm honest, but I thought, what the hell, we'll stick it on the whole car. Right, what's next? So I'm now wishing and I'd done this all in the beginning when I was building it. So a ball ache to get it off. I thought I'd start with the easy one, which is the front end, but it's not that easy. There's quite a bit to take apart. Anyway, that's the front end, and that's the kit steering. And I had forgot actually, kit steering is bearings as well. Can't remember if I fitted those bearings or they come in the kit. But either way, that steering's awesome as it is. But yeah, this is just for bling. So anyway, let's get that fitted. Right, and again with a little bit of messing around, that's now in position, and obviously you get how it works. Again, don't know if it's an upgrade as such, or if it's just bling, but kind of got to have it. Right, let's get that on the car now. Right, that's that front end back together, and yeah, feels really nice. Don't know if I said earlier, I did put the thread lock on the aluminium steering set, because it will work its way loose if you don't. It's a funny thing for when you call it bling, because you don't see it, like obviously from underneath the car you don't see it. Yeah, from the sides you can, but and from the top you don't really, apart from that sort of top arm. Yeah, it's a strange one, but it is super smooth, so yeah, very happy with that. Right, let's move on to the next bit. So this is hilarious. I've made a huge mistake. No, not huge. This is funny as. So, of course, the TD2 doesn't have bevel gears. They're only for four-wheel drive. One goes there, then there's a prop shaft, and then on the, obviously the four-wheel drive, there's one at the front. What the hell was I thinking? So obviously you got your upgraded slipper clutch, metal gear here, goes onto this drive gear, and then underneath that is the diff. That's it. So there is no place for them. What an absolute plank. That's hilarious. So anyway, so yeah, I've taken obviously the cover off and the slipper clutch cover. So while that's off, I'll change the shock tower out. But yeah, that is hilarious. I can't believe I've made that error in my thinking. But oh my goodness, I'm just trying to think why there's 4 bevel gears for the TD4. Obviously one goes there because the prop shaft goes. Oh, and the other one goes here. It must be a completely different configuration. That's odd. Do you know what I want to do? Depends how long this video goes and how quickly I get the rest of it done. But if we're going to fit the shock tower to TD4, I might as well fit these because I'm intrigued now. The bevel gear, so there has to be two here and 2 there. But the moulding looks different. This has intrigued me. Anyway, absolute dumbass. Right, that's the shock tower. Comes with all the hardware for it as well. So we have the wing mounts go as opposed to bolted straight through into the back of the chassis. I'm curious to see if the wing's in the same position. I don't see why they would alter that, but you never know. Well, it will be altered because when you buy the kit, you get 2 wing mount options, short and tall. So I don't know if this is going to be like short or tall or somewhere in the middle. Anyway, let's get that on. So this is interesting. So your standard kit wing mounts have this. So you get a big washer and hold the wings held on with the body clip. These are not. These are screws. So it doesn't sound a biggie. Just put them down. But this is a Tamiya racing wing. So again, this wing wasn't designed for this car. I put this on. But because the wing's got this big dip on here, it is going to go on, but just it's pushing against. This could be an issue because if I just put it back slightly, that's now on the bubble, and as you can see, the holes are only halfway through, so I've got to push it back a little bit more to get it there, which is raising that front end up. That's crap. Right, we'll have to deal with that and see what that looks like once we put the wing on. Right, that's that built back up. Cabin shock tower looks really good. I like how it looks, and I like the wing mounts coming off of it. Shocks are in line again. Now, here's another issue. Now this is only an issue because I fitted a Tamiya racing wing, so it's not an issue if you're using a kit wing. That's the wing mounts I was using, which was the short ones, and they bolt down to those 2 holes there. But you can see the difference in height. So my wing was down here, whereas now it's going to be up there. That looks even higher than the tall wing mounts. I could be wrong. Now, my issue with that is I didn't like the look of my car with the tall wing mounts in the kit. It looked too high. But I'll leave it as it is for now until the end. But I may well, if I don't like the look of it with these, I may well take these wing mounts off and put the originals back on. That's just a personal preference thing for how I want it to look. But anyway, geez, this is taking way too long. So now it's the rear to get into the diff. Obviously, we've got to change the diff. We're changing this bracket out. I'm not even using the manual to do any of this, so that's why it's taking longer. But yeah, this has got to come off, and then this, and then it'll all open up. Right, so as you can see, I've got the back end off now. So that's the standard diff, which we're going to work on next. But while I had this off, I've taken the motor out, and it's a gorgeous Tamiya super modified 11-turn. Beautiful motor, runs really well. But the pinion's rounded, can't get it out. Jesus, I must have put it in too tight. Tried everything to get it out. So I'm going to have to drill that grub screw out at some point. Again, this is not for this video, because this motor's going back in the collection now. But yeah, a little bit frustrating because that's the pinion of choice for this car. 48 DP, which matches up with the spur gear. So hopefully, yeah, I'll drill that out and manage to keep the threads intact, hopefully, and just put a new grub screw in. If not, I'll order a new pinion. Jeez, there's always something, isn't there? Anyway, moving on. So let's take this one out. So this is the ball diff, and it's actually, you can see the blue there, it's got the hop up diff nuts. Still feels really nice actually, but yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason I wanted a gear diff this time round because of the slipper clutch. Right, building the diff up. It's kind of cool. So all the gears and outdrives are metal, and that's how that works. So yeah, point of I was going to say point of no return, but it's really not. But yeah, I'm going to put the oil in, fit the gasket, and then I'll play with it with my fingers for a little bit and see if there's any leaks. I would imagine if it leaks as bad as other people have had, I'm going to see it straight away. So yeah, let's do that. So it says fill with oil until the bevel gears are covered. So overfilling it could be an issue for it leaking, but that's where I'm going with it. A tiny little bit of the very tops of all 4 bevel gears showing. I'd rather underfill it very slightly than overfill it. Right, that's that changed over. So old diff, new diff. Obviously the shims are on underneath the bearings, the sponges are in the outcups. It's quite a bit lighter. I've got no scales, but it's quite a bit lighter than the ball diff. Quite a bit lighter, which has surprised me. And also, now, so this is obviously the ball diff with the blue lock nut, and this isn't, because it's got the upgraded diff locking nut and it's got the slipper clutch. I nipped this up really tight, or probably as tight as you can get it, and then backed it off a quarter of a turn, and it feels good, but this feels better. Now it's not as good. This is a little bit freer, but you can feel the oil working against you. And obviously with this, later down the line, you got the option of changing the oils out. I'm a bit of a fan of this, and I think at the time of making this video, I've got the new Tamiya BBX on pre-order, and that's coming with the ball diff, and I believe this is the upgraded diff for that, so I'll probably be buying another one for that. No leaks whatsoever, wiped all the, obviously as you put the screws in, that takes the last of the oil out before you nip it down. But yeah, I've had it stood up there, I've had it in all different angles, playing with it, there's nothing coming out of it. Obviously it may well do under use, but for now I'm a big fan of that. That's quality, that feels great. Anyway, so I'm going to put this back together, and at the same time I'm going to change out the rear suspension mount for the alloy one, and I'll just have to figure out the positions, because on the kit one it's just a standard position for your toe in, toe out, but I'm going to read the instructions and I'll fit whichever one is closest to this, and then we'll get it all back together. And that's how the rear suspension mount goes on. Now, reading instructions, it tells you, it gives you tons of different options for your toe in, toe out on your rear, but it does say in instructions that N1 is standard. So I've just gone with that. I'm hoping standard is exactly the same as the kit had, because I was really happy with that. But I guess, you know, I don't know. And then obviously it gives you all its different options. But yeah, that's obviously, I'll hang on to that. That's definitely something to play with in the future. Right, let's get this all bolted back down. Right, that's that TD2 finished. It's funny, I started off this video or project and I wasn't feeling it but as I've got into it, I'm really enjoying it now. So I am going to crack on with the TD4. I've just remembered that my TD4 hasn't got a racing wing on. It's got Owen's brand new TD4 body set, Avanti body set. So I'll have no issue fitting the carbon tower on, but I'm more intrigued to fit these on as well. So I think we'll put the TD2 aside for now and we'll go find the TD4. So if you've not seen my TD4 before, it's quite a looker. Love this thing. So this has, apart from the carbon shock tower and the bevel gears now, this has every upgrade possible on it. And more importantly is the body set on it, which is the Revive RC new TD4 Avanti body set, and I went with the Avanti 2001 livery. Not the front wing, that's my own doing, which I absolutely love. Some people like it, some people don't. Also the turbo fins on the wheels are Owens, but it doesn't sell them. It sells a disc, but if you want to put the fins on, you got to do that yourself, and it takes forever, and you wouldn't dare run it with those on. It's just for sure. But yeah, it's kind of one of my favourite looking cars because it's very custom. Yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm looking at Owen's wing and he's got some fancy moulding marks on it. So again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use the wing mounts. And this has got the small wing mounts on, as my TD2 had. So if I go with the carbon tower and what have you, it's going to be, the wing's going to be a lot higher, and I don't know how that's going to look. But I do know if I use it, it's going to give the wing more angle, and I'm definitely after more angle on that wing. As you can see, it has got angle, but maybe a little bit more might look cool. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into this one, because what I'm going to do now is, now I know my way around the car again from messing about with that one. I'm going to take the top off, so I can get into those bevels. And anyway, you know what I'm going to do. Right, I think that's the first time I've had the two chassis together. Looks rather cool. So yes, TD4. Only difference is 4-wheel drive. Well, I say only difference, there are others. Went with aeration shocks on this, and I made this little piece of cut polycarbonate for the driver's helmet. That's just for show, because the steering arm would get in the way of that, I think. Yes, it would. But I'm supposed to revisit that, and I haven't. But I think the TD4 at the side of the TD2 looks blingier, and that's because the front shocks are more unsure. Whereas obviously now these are angled down on the 2-wheel drive and the brace going across. You can see them, but they're not as prominent as the 4. And also it's got a blue pivot here, an extra blue arm for the steering. But yeah, aeration shocks on this one. But yeah, damn cool. Right, I don't know where I do front and back. I think I'll take the front off because the bevels are in here. So let's take all this off and see what we find. Right, there's the bevel gears I'm talking about, and obviously it's got a pair at the front end at the opposite end of the prop shaft. So yeah, I'll take these out, clean the grease off, and we'll get the metal ones fitted. Yeah, quite different from the 2. It's this bit here, this is moulded, it's got cutouts. The 2 had room for this, but I don't think it had room for that. It was like it had an extra piece of plastic in there. I don't know, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Anyway, let's change them over. Right, that's the rear pair in place. Very cool. I like that. can't really turn it as such because of it all wants to pop out. Top plate does it, but obviously I've not greased those yet, but I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, to be honest. It's a shame they don't do a metal gear for that gear, because then you'd have an all metal drive. I guess now that possibly would be the weakest link in the drive chain, or maybe the spur is, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that is cool. So I'll grease it, I'll get the lid back on, but at the same time I'll change the shock tower over to carbon, and I'll build it as it should be per instructions, but bear in mind we may revert back to the old wing mounts. Right, so that's the back end finished. Obviously shock tower's on, wing mounts are on, hardware's on for the shocks in the same line with that spacer. Yeah, all very good. Now I've got to figure out how to get into, where is it, here? I can't remember. So anyway, I'll take my time and see if we can get this gearbox opened up. Right, that's the front end. You got to take all this off. Anyway, that's the bevels changed over. Bit of a mission with this one because it goes the other way around, so the circlips at the top, so it's a bit harder to get into to get it off. But yeah, that's what it looks like. So we'll get some grease on that and then we'll seal it back up. Right, TD4 all back together. Jeez, that's a mission. Anyway, that's finished, so that's cool. So might as well stay on the TD4. We'll figure this new wing mount arrangement out, so I'll have to get the car back put together to see if that wing's going to look silly or not. Right, gotta be honest, don't think I can live with that wing that high. I love the wing mounts coming off the shock tower, love that, looks great, but the wing just is too high for me. It doesn't have the flow that it had before, if that makes sense. Damn. Yeah, I've got to be careful because it could be just because it's different and I'm not liking it because it's different. I don't know. I will stick the wheels on. Another thing that's not great, as I've said earlier, so the old wing mounts have this big square on, so you put large holes in, whereas this is a small screw, so it gives you a washer to cover it up, but it means you've got a lot of play on your wing. I mean, that's neither here nor there, but if you're going to do the shock tower thing, it's worth knowing, I guess. Right, let's stick the wheels and tyres on. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's growing on me, actually. It's growing on me. It's because it's got that extra gap as well. Takes it away from the body shell slightly, and it's got more angle this way around, but I don't know if it's too high. I don't know. That looks way too high to me from there. More so on the camera than in real life, I've got to be honest. I'm seeing it behind the screen as you are, but no. I don't know. I really don't know. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the TD2 and build that back up to the same stage, and let's have a look how that wing looks. Right, again, for me, that doesn't work. And I know some of you watching will love it. I get it, like big wings. More so on this car, this was designed to be kind of stealthy. And I feel I achieved that look, and that wing just looks too high for me. So I'm going to revert back to on both cars, TD2 and TD4, to the original short wing mounts that bolt to the chassis. Again, personal preference, it depends what you like, but again, these don't do it for me. I've just put the camera on a lower tripod. It don't look bad, does it? I've got to be honest, it doesn't look bad. It's definitely growing on me, but it's just not. It's too much. And it's funny, that angle it looked pretty good, but from other angles, like that one, for me, that's too high now. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous, isn't it? Right, let's get it swapped over. Right, that's it. That's definitely it. That just looks way better for me, for my taste. It's just how I did the car originally, and it kind of flows better. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. It's cool because you can see the carbon shock tower now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. Right, let's. So what's left to do on this is a tie decals and get the Avanti driver in there, and I need to dust it off. But I'll do that last, and I'll come back when that's finished. But let's get the TD4 back and lower that wing. Right, yeah, much better. A lot better lower. Put a slight bit more of angle on the wing this time. But yeah, that's cool. It's funny because I didn't really set out to touch a TD4 today, but looking at it now, I've got the wing in a slightly better position. We've got the metal bevel gears on, and we've got the carbon shock tower on. So yeah, that's a good day. Right, I'm done playing. It's doing me head in. Couldn't get the tie decals on because I wanted to get a knife and take the lettering off so the tyre was flat on the rears. Fronts are fine. But I just don't have the patience to do it, and it's a bit silly just to put some tyre decals on. So I've scrapped it. I've got the Avanti driver in the cockpit, which, I mean, it looks pretty cool. Again, just for show. God damn, what a day. And that's it. Damn. I can say it on a lot of videos. These, what you class as a short project, you know, an hour here or there. I've probably been at that about 6 hours on and off. Very enjoyable though. I wasn't feeling it when I started, but when I started to get into the cars, it was cool. Hence why I went all the way through to get those bevel gears on the TD4. Yeah, very, very cool indeed. So, again, purpose of this video was to get all the bits on the TD2. When the brushless combo comes, or more so when winter is over and I can start running cars again, then it's just to get the electrics in this and we're off, which is awesome. Test that gear diff and stuff. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. And gotta be honest, now I've got those bevel gears in, I'm kind of thinking might take the TD4 out again. I'd kind of retired that to shelf. I think I've run it 3 times. There's one video on this channel of it running, and I think I ran it 2 separate times just on my own. And I was like, awesome car, but it just went on shelf as a roller. But yeah, I don't know, I might, it's kind of now I got into it, and I thought, you know, with the Revive RC Avanti shell on, it might be cool to get it running and zipping around on some mud or whatever. Gravel. Clean gravel. Gravel that doesn't need cleaning off when it's finished, you know, that kind of gravel. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, don't know what to say. It was kind of cool. I enjoyed that video. I enjoyed the project, but that makes the video better for me because it's not forced then, if that makes sense. Anyway, I will shut up. I hope this hasn't been a long video. Apologies if it has. It wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, I'll end this video. As always, my friends, thanks so much for watching. It is massively appreciated. And if this is the first time you've stumbled across one of my videos, give us a thumbs up, say hello in the comments, and subscribe if you like what we do. And turn the notifications on for our weekly videos. That'd be absolutely off the chart. Right, I'll shut up. And as always, my friends, happy RCing.